Hi, I'm Megan Schuler. I actually attended the poverty stimulation for the new student dialogue, and we were asked to answer a lot of different questions. Some of them were kind of different than the ones posted on Blackboard, but overall, I found the whole process or the poverty stimulation very interesting. I went in there kind of expecting that the whole stimulation would be somewhat of a lecture or either a speech given by somebody about poverty, and it was I was so much more involved, and I really did enjoy being in the stimulation more so than listening to a speech of some sort. But we were asked to answer these certain questions. The first one was describe your experience in the new student dialogue. Overall, I was in a small family that the father had been sent to jail and the mother was nowhere to be found. And I was a 21-year-old college student who attended community college, and I had to provide for my brother, my sister, and a newborn child, which is a lot for a college student to have to take on, being in college like a full-time student and then also having a part-time job and having to provide for the family. But throughout the whole process, there were different stations set up across in the room in the Clemson house, and overall you had to visit certain ones, like the grocery store. You had to pay mortgage on your house, so you had to visit the bank. Some of us got, government help for food and supplies. You had to attend school. You had to send your children to school. There was a police department. There were, a pawn shop. There was tokens also that you had to use to travel, as they call it, to and from these different places. And overall, the amount of time that we were given, it was very stressful, in my opinion, to have to deal with getting everything in line in just a short amount of time. Now, in real life, yes, it can be very stressful at the same time, but I do believe you'll have more than 10 minutes to come up with your mortgage payment and everything else. The second question that we were asked was, what was your interaction with the participants? Like I said, I had two other brothers. I had another sister and a brother, and then I had a newborn. So they weren't really able to help me since they were at the age of like 11 or 12, and they were continuously at school, and the newborn was at daycare. So it was kind of like all the weight was on my shoulders, and to keep our family going, I was the one who had to actually, provide for the family and take care of everything, which I'm very fortunate right now I do not have to do that, since a lot of people at Clemson come from or even a well-set family, that they're not having to provide for a lot of different people, but sometimes people do, like college students do have to provide for their family, and they will take any assistance given to them. The third question was, what surprised you and why? What surprised me was how stressful it was in reality to actually have all that on your plate as a college student, because not only are you trying to keep up with your studies, but with your family as well. And it really surprised me on how, you always hear about people paying their bills and having the mortgage and providing for their family, but you don't understand how intense it is when you're actually stuck in that position. And the fourth question was, what stands out to you most about this experience? This experience really did teach me how it opened my eyes to what people in today's life really experience. And sure, you can say, oh, okay, well, poverty is like when you can't do this or that, but it covers a broad amount of people, and what they have to face with on a day-to-day basis is extremely, like I said, stressful, and it's time consuming, and if you're working and a student, you don't have time to do all these other things. And the fifth question and final question is, how has this experience impacted you? like I said again, it has taught me a lot to help those in need that I might not realize that are under financial stress, or those who are coming from a family that has many issues. You don't realize how stressful it is on their part because they might not show it, but it really has broadened my view for people in poverty. And overall, this experience it was a great stimulation. I'm so glad that I actually did it and there wasn't a speech or a speaker, because we sit through a lot of those already, and actually getting us involved in showing us what happens taught me more than from hearing it, and it made me realize for myself how stressful it really is.